I am a lifelong, pretty much, resident of Walker County, Huntsville, Texas. Both of my parents were educators here. I'm retired. I've been a high school principal, school administrator. I am a part-time mentor for first-year teachers from Sam Houston State University. I'm a member of the National Association of Black School Educators and a member of the State Association for Black School Educators. So that's kind of my background. It's very heavy into education. It's the only thing I believe that gives us a fighting chance. My interest in voting and voting rights are very deep, and I learned at an early age. My mother told me a story of her growing up in Nacogdoches, Texas. She saw her father coming home from the sawmill as a little girl, and a policeman stopped him and beat him, literally, as my mother, who was maybe 8 or 9 at the time, and her mother watched in horror because he didn't know where someone was. She never forgot that as long as she lived. My mother probably could not dream that voting rights, the clock is being turned back for something so important for people who had no voice, who couldn't say, look, I don't know where that was. I was at work. My wife, my daughter, they're standing on the porch, you know. I don't know anything. Hearing that and knowing that she had the foresight and the will to hope for something bigger, to dream for something bigger, that she could go and get an education and hope for something better for me so that I can pass that dream on to my own children and grandchildren. And so it's really important for our voices to be heard, because we can't let the clock go back. We cannot. So for this generation of young people who go about thinking that life has always been the way it has been, that separate water fountains, poll taxes, actually dying to actually go cast a vote, they may be able to get to see that now. If they don't wake up. We've tried to erase it, forget it, and say, oh, that's back then. No, it's not back then. We need to keep that front and center at all times, because I honestly think it will be a real shock to them to see a mid-century America in 2021. And I don't know if we have equipped them well enough. By we, I mean my generation, I mean education. And I don't know if some of that may be our fault, and then some of that may have been intentional. As a people, we need to teach our children that if they don't know this, there's a real danger that your voting rights will be taken from you, or at least severely limited.